Hey y'all, welcome back to Reality Check, please. I'm your host, Cassie, and happy Saturday. I was gonna say Friday. Happy Saturday. We are back to talk about Love is Blind episodes 4 through 6. We're gonna try and do a rapid recap. There's so much that happened in these episodes. I think they were all over an hour long. So I either have to talk about one of them for a whole 10 minutes or we do the hot stuff. So before we jump in, make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe. Let me know where you guys are watching from. Are you guys enjoying Love is Blind this season? I am. I think it's such a better season than last season. I'm loving it. So pop off in the comment sections, give me your hot takes, and let's jump right in. I want to talk about the hot topics. I don't know if I shared this in yesterday's video. We saw that Patrick and Casey got engaged in episode 4. Patrick only got engaged to Casey. I am so sorry because Anna went home. You cannot convince me otherwise. Nick also only got engaged or only pursued Annie, not Anna, Annie, because his relationship with Kate fell through in episode 4 as well, because his deal breaker was the faith portion of, their relationship. Although I understand that, and I think that that is a very valid reason to maybe be cautious about pursuing a relationship, the way he went about it, and the fact that he had just told Kate the day before that he loved her, and then for him to end the relationship the way he did, was just very immature in my mind. He then wants to continue and pursue Annie completely full force, while Annie also has a connection with Brendan, which in my eyes was stronger than hers and Nick's. However, Nick, because he came in so hot after he broke things off with Kate, that I think messed with Annie's mind and said, okay, he's showing more effort. He's putting me first, and he's giving me all the reassurance that I need. And Brendan's not doing that. However, when she spoke to Brendan and she tried to tell him this, he said, I've given you XYZ. We've talked about literally everything. And he came at her with verbatim conversations. And she still just sat there you're not giving me enough. I was like, girl, are you good? This man was literally about to propose to you. He had a gift for you and he literally told you, do not open it. I was so upset for Brendan in that moment because Nick definitely manipulated that entire situation. And I think cheated Brendan and Annie of a real, genuine, authentic relationship, but that's just my opinion. We also see in episode 4 where Meg and Jordan get a lot closer. And this is where they start to talk about, real life potential engagement. People are up in arms saying that Meg and Jordan are disrespecting Luca's mom, which is Jordan's baby mama. I personally don't feel like that. And I'm a mom. I mean, I'm not a single parent. I'm very thankful that me and Manny are in a loving relationship and we are a happy little family. However, I don't think for a single second that Jordan nor Megan disrespected Luca's mom in any way. I think the only one or two times where Megan came in and said, okay, I'm stepping in to be Luca's mom, I don't think she meant any ill will to it. I think she meant it more because of her experience with juvenile diabetes because of her dad and how to be an extra pair of hands to help Luca's parents walk through it. She's experienced it with her dad. She's lived it all her entire life. So I think she came from actually a very mature standpoint. And even Jordan told her, I don't expect you to do anything but to love my son. Everything else is bonus and that's extra. And even then after that, when she brought up okay, if we come out of here engaged, what does that look like? What does our family life with Luca look like? He even gave Luca's mom the respect to say, this is a conversation that has to have all three of us, as the parents. They are both coming at this very respectfully because she is very well aware of what it means to step into this engagement with Jordan. She knows that he does not come as a single person. He comes with a package. They are a package deal. When she says yes to Jordan, she says yes to Luca. And so that was a prime example of how a relationship with a child or a single parent should go. And I think that people that are up in arms about this are people that are maybe don't have that relationship with their baby mama or their baby daddy. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. And I know it's a super hot take and I don't care. And I will say it with my whole chest because I think Megan was a perfect example and she carried herself so well with getting engaged to a single parent. And you cannot convince me otherwise. You cannot convince me otherwise. Moving on to episode 5 really, really quick. We got to see where Megan and Jordan get engaged. Nick and Annie get engaged. But before Nick and Annie get engaged, we see where Brendan gave it his final shot with Annie and he tried to convince her. And everything in me was trying to get this woman to kind of see the light of day. You are making the wrong decision by picking Nick because Nick is only putting all his eggs in your basket because things with Kate did not work out. And Brendan really only had Annie as a connection from what we saw. And I hope that once these next batch of episodes come out and they meet, everyone, that she realizes that Brendan was the true answer. But that's just me. What do you guys think? Before Jordan and Meg got engaged, we saw that Meg cut things off with Mike, and this mother effer tried to snake her and manipulate the situation and tried to get in her head and plant seeds of doubt. And I did not like that. He was trying to tell her that Jordan was not the type of guy that she needed, and that he even brought his son into this. I was like, you snake. I do not respect him. He is a disgusting human being. But then when he tried to put down Jordan's looks and say, you may not, he tried to allude something about Jordan's looks that it got in her head, because even before the reveal, she was like questioning it. So I was super happy in the reveal when she said, she was surprised, but in a good way. That gave me so much hope. I was like, yes, we have hope in this relationship. They are the one couple that I'm rooting for. However, I do not think that they get to the altar, but I'll tell you guys at the very end. Episode 6, when we were in Mexico, I know people were telling me after my episode 1 recap on TikTok that I was going to be eating my words when I said that I was rooting for Edmund. I loved Edmund. Episode 1, obviously, it was the intro episode. We see very little about everyone, and we get to know more about them as the episodes, unfold. However, Edmund really disappointed me in the last 30, 45 minutes of episode 6, because we saw his immaturity and maybe some of his trauma kind of resurface. I think that there's a lot of healing that he needs to do before getting into a marriage. So I don't know. I think that it was very immature how he handled the whole, like, him being the only couple that had not had sex yet, and him not respecting Calibria's boundaries. I did not appreciate that. And honestly, huge ick, huge, huge ick. People were also telling me in the comment section on my TikTok that Jordan was very immature. You guys, yes, he was drunk. Him and Joe were pretty drunk. However, we have to remember that Netflix, I think, pushes alcohol on these cast members. This is why Love Island has a 2-drink limit, because then we'd have an entire season of them acting complete fools of themselves and not being able to, like, make wise decisions. I think that's one of the huge downfalls of Netflix and Love is Blind, is that they don't regulate and, like, monitor their alcohol consumption, and they actually thrive on that. They thrive on them being inebriated and making fools of themselves. And that makes me lose so much respect for them, because they are literally going to get married and have, like, one of the biggest decisions of their lives, if not the biggest decision of their lives. And they are counting on them being drunk half the time to give them a good drama or a good storyline. I don't know. I don't like that. But people were saying that Jordan was immature. Yeah, he was drunk, but I mean, it'd be different if he was like this the entire time when he's sober, but he wasn't. We even see Joe, choose to go home. And he told Madison, if you want to stay, stay. If you want to come, come, like, whatever. Madison was very much annoying me this episode, especially because she was wanting to, like, make herself the victim in a situation. I mean, I get it. Like, I get it. You don't know this man, like, fully, like, you are getting to know him. It can be very uncomfortable to be around a man that you do not know when they are drunk. I completely respect that. But then when she came home, she was being so dramatic. It really annoyed me. She's like, "You're worrying me. I've asked you like so many times, and you're just so confused." Girl, he literally just woke up. Like, have you ever woken up when you were just, like, pretty tipsy, if not, like, drunk? Not that you don't know where you are, but it takes you a little longer to kind of, like, realize, like, okay, what's going on? You're out of the country. He was drunk. Like, he has cameras in his face. Like, forgive him if he didn't know, like, why you were still dressed. Like, I don't know. She was, like, overdoing it for me. She was doing too much, and I was like, oh, like, this is not going to work out for me. I'm so sorry. But also Joe making comments about her weight. She is not even overweight. Like, he really pissed me off also in those comments when they first got to Mexico, and he was like, yeah, like, I like thinner girls. She is not even fat. What are you talking about? Like, I hate these men sometimes. Like, I can't stand them. So I can't defend him with those comments. However, I also cannot defend Madison with how she overreacted at the very end of the episode with him being drunk and, like, being in bed, sleeping it off. I don't know. She overplayed it for me. I was so annoyed with her, but that's just me. Yes, did Jordan annoy me also, and he also annoyed Megan, but she clocked him, and I think right after that he was like, "Okay, I'm so sorry." Like, "Yes, ma'am." Like, "Okay, I'll get it together." And he did. But we have definitely a lot more that's going to come out in these next few episodes, and Wednesday cannot get here fast enough. That's what I was going to say. Once we get to see the couples that are established, I like to go back to rewatch the intro, because you kind of get to tell which couples make it to the altar. And honestly, I don't, as much as, like I said, I'm rooting for Meg and Jordan. They are my number one favorite couple that I want them to make it to the end. Given the preview, I think something, like, heartbreaking happens because she says, I think it was her that she said, "You broke my heart," and he's crying. And I did not see like an altar scene with them. So I am truly just so crushed. I hope that they are still dating in the real world. I mean, as long as they're happy, that's all that matters. But I am probably like rooting for them the most. But let me know what you guys think. Pop off in the comment sections. Give us all your hot takes. Do you agree with my hot take on Meg and Jordan and how I don't think that they were disrespectful to Luca's mom or not? Pop off in the comment sections. Let me know. And we will catch you guys later for some more reality checks. Bye, y'all. Happy Saturday.